Thousands of former colonists and even members of Congress read inactivity to the text specifically, as well as the increased power of the federal government. Tax collectors across the nation were attacked, and the newly reformed tax code in America was forever distilled.
We also need to mention how the Whiskey Rebellion affected America not only economically, but socially too. People were afraid of having a strong federal government after everything they had been through with the British government.
Even some government officials were against common tax.
That's true, Jarvis. Senator McClay of Pennsylvania even stated that it was the most execrable system ever framed against the liberty of the people, and went on to say that war and bloodshed are the most likely consequence of all this.
But I think you need to tell both sides of the story, Mary. Hamilton wasn't all that bad. Just think about his revolutionary tax policies.
I just don't know what to do anymore. We are $54 million in debt, and we don't have a way of producing any revenue. Thanks to our limits on taxation. Where is that? Aha! There it is. Federalist paper number 12. Let's see. That's it. I got it. What about a tax on whiskey? I think anywhere from 6 to 18 cents per gallon should do it. I must tell George at once.
That $54 million worth of debt that we were in 1794 is equal to over $2 trillion worth of debt today.
At the time, nothing like this had been done before. I think it's pretty much safe to say Hamilton's tax code paved the way for other countries to set up their taxation system.
Hamilton played a vital role in not only the Whiskey Rebellion, but the American Revolution as well. I mean, it's safe to say that without him, our Constitution might not have even been ratified. And I was also reading in this book called The White House Burning by Simon Johnson and James Clark that if America had continued to follow Hamilton's policies after the Washington administration, the White House might not have been burned down during the War of 1812 because America would have been able to fund for protection of its nation's capital.
That's amazing. You know, Mary, Hamilton even wrote about taxing of the steel spirit in Federalist paper number 12.
And I also read this article at a Business Week that stated, if George Washington was the father of the country and James Madison of the Constitution, then Alexander Hamilton was surely the father of the federal government.
Can you imagine what George Washington was thinking when Alexander Hamilton proposed the tax? Considering they owned the whiskey distillery, it would soon become the largest in the country.
I've got it, Washington. I've got it. Take a look at this.
You have what Hamilton do tell?
Well, I was thinking, why not put a tax on whiskey? It produces so much revenue already. Why not tax it on like debt?
That is a great idea, but do you realize how much whiskey means to the people, not only economically, but socially too? How do you think they'll react?
Washington, we have never been a people that will fund taxation. But our suggestions wasn't a dire necessity.
That is true. Towards the payment of debts, there must be revenue, and to have revenue, there must be taxes. And no taxes can be devised which are not more or less inconvenient and unpleasant.
I don't think Washington or Hamilton realized how big of an uprising would come from the whiskey tax.
Distillers, farmers, and even government officials all over the country reacted to the tax. But those in Pennsylvania had an extraordinarily hostile reaction, leading to a series of outbreaks.
These rebels were encouraged by their leader, David Bradford, to join forces and create their own militia to revolt against the government.
One example of rebellion is the Liberty poles that were erected in front of the meeting places of the rebellion distillers. One of the most identifiable Liberty poles was one that wore a red flag with 6 stripes, each stripe representing one of 6 insurgent counties. The engraving on the Liberty pole read, "Liberty and no exile, no asylum for traitors and cowards."
Can you believe that on August 1st, 1794, a group of rebels attacked the house of a man named John Neville, who was not only a tax collector, but a close friend of Washington's as well.
Can you imagine how John Neville and George Washington must have felt about this attack?
I just can't handle it anymore, Washington. These rebels are ruining my life. After everything I've been through with the revolution, this has to top it all off. Never have I feared for my life or my family's like I did when I saw those rebels top that hill.
You're right, Neville. Something has to be done. This nation will not tolerate any form of treason. Have my word. Those involved will be prosecuted.
Good heavens, John. What has happened? Being a tax collector in southwestern Pennsylvania is not a popular job.
Well, I can see that. President Washington, something must be done at once.
I agree.
Because of these attacks,
case, to take measures calling forth the militia, I have accordingly determined to do so, feeling the deepest regret for the occasion, but with all the most solemn conviction that the essential interests of the Union demanded, all persons being insurgents aforesaid are commanded on or before September next to disperse and retire peaceably to their respective abodes. Signed, George Washington.
This act allowed for the government to gather militiamen to put down the insurrection. However, they still had an issue of getting together a militia to stifle the rebel attacks.
When cabinet members suggested that militiamen only be drawn from the state of Pennsylvania, Hamilton instead stated that it would follow that a competent force of militia should be called forth and employed to suppress the insurrection and support the civil authority.
This competent force consisted of 12,000 militiamen, all gathered from Pennsylvania, New Jersey, Maryland, and Virginia by Hamilton himself.
You know, Jarvis, I still can't believe that this is the only time in American history that an active president led troops into battle.
Can you imagine how the public would react if President Obama led troops against his own people? That's crazy.
Well, it's just that people had so much respect for Washington. Many even idolized him.
If it was anybody but Washington leading the troops into battle, this small rebellion in southwestern Pennsylvania would have likely consumed the whole nation.
I wonder what Washington and Hamilton did once they finally met up with those rebels in Bedford, Pennsylvania.
Looks as though your 12,000 militiamen are a bit unnecessary, Hamilton. Many of the rebels have given up the fight.
I suppose so, but those still fighting are still guilty of treason in my eyes.
I do agree. However, I'm afraid I must return to Philadelphia to deal with those pesky members of Congress who still oppose the tax. General Lee, would you come join us for a moment?
What shall I do with the rebels, Mr. President?
Thank you for coming to aid us, General Lee. I would like for you and Hamilton to gather up all those who still oppose the tax. I will not allow a small portion of the United States to dictate to the whole Union.
And for those who have given up the fight,
Pardon them, for they have obeyed their orders.